when I was born, it was a stressful time. My mother was very stressed out. She had just lost custody of her 8 kids. She had me with a married man that had 5 kids already, so I was kind of like one of those kids, I guess. I was, it wasn't supposed to happen. It just, oh shit, I'm pregnant, damn, And now look at the situation you're in. I'm talking as far as my mother's part. You already got 8 kids, you fighting to get custody and visitation, but then you pregnant with one that the man is married and he had no intention on leaving his wife. He just had a booty call for a night. He wasn't expecting all that. So my mother was very depressed at the time, during the time she was pregnant with me. So, and that, that can be genetic. Maybe that's what led to me going through such severe depressions in my life. Not only the accident, but it can sometimes be genetic. But she was very depressed, which is understandable. And at the time, she had met Ernest. She met him one night, he used to work with my Uncle Harry. Ernest was a friend of my Uncle Harry's, my Aunt Gracie's husband. And Uncle Harry worked construction back then. He was a bricklayer by trade. And Ernest worked construction, so they was working on a job together, and they got to be cool and friendly. And one day Aunt Gracie picked up Uncle Harry, and he thought Aunt Gracie was just so pretty. And he said, "Does she have any sisters?" They met up a Friday night, played cards. Ernest got sloppy drunk, and before you know it, the next day he woke up. My mother was 9 months pregnant. He woke up and he was married. Shit, he didn't even know he had got married. He was so damn drunk. He didn't even know. He don't know nothing about this woman or nothing. So that's kind of how my life started out. And he signed his name on the birth certificate. No sooner than they got married, she went into labor. So he ended up signing his name on the birth certificate because he had married her. He was already married to her. So back in them days, if you was married and the woman had a baby, that child took the last name. So at that time, my mother, I remember being 7 at the time, and I asked my mother the question. I was like, "Mom, why'd you name me Jeanette?" I thought Marquita Denise, how pretty. That's my oldest sister. Sheila Diane, my middle sister. And it's like, dang, it's like they got these nice, pretty names and shit. And I asked her why she named me Jeanette. My mother was very honest. She told me, shit, I was tired of having kids. I told them I don't care what they name me. They can name me Jeanette for all I care. So that's how I got the name Jeanette. How I got my middle name Laverne is my Aunt Margaret's middle name is Laverne. And my Aunt Gracie, because my mother didn't give me a middle name, my Aunt Gracie came to the hospital and told them to put Laverne. So that is how I got Laverne as a middle name, or else I wouldn't have had a middle name. So that's how that happened. The ages I can remember from, the earliest age I can remember, is probably, I would say, 3 and 4. I remember a little bit back then living in the projects over on the west side. We was doing real bad. Ernest was borrowing money from the loan sharks, and then they would be coming by the house ready to threaten him. The worst memory I think I have is one time, and I had to be about 4, because I was real little. All I remember was snow outside. And I was barefoot, and we had to run. A few apartments down. It felt like my feet wasn't gonna never ever be warm again. I never forget that. We had to run out the back door because the people was knocking on the door. I guess they had some guns. They was looking for Ernest because Ernest owed them some money and shit. And we had to run down to the neighbor's house, Miss Fuente's house, and it was snow. And man, all I can remember is my feet just hurt so bad. Man, I never ever thought they was gonna come back. And I was so, scared. I had on a coat. It was cold. It was just a winter night, just a cold winter night. It was fucked up, And that next day, Miss Fuentes let us stay over there all night. The next day, we came back to the house. I guess Ernest and then did something. They borrowed money, did what they had to do to pay these people so that they wouldn't be coming back to the house. So I remember things like that. I remember when Ernest drove. I had to be about 5 then, maybe 5 or 6. Ernest had a Pontiac Bonneville, and he drove it right into the apartment complex, into our apartment complex. We had a big ass hole in the damn building. It was just, it was a whole bunch of stuff about that.